Hello ladies and gentlemen, it's Mike here at GameFromScratch. If you were watching this channel last week, you probably saw the whole build box shooting their own feet off, to which I followed it up with a roundup of some of the easiest video game engines to get started with. And one of the things I mentioned was Construct 3. Now, I'd taken a look at Construct 3 at some point in the past, but that was like 4 or 5 years ago. So what I've decided I'm going to do today is a quick look at Construct 3. So if you ever wondered what this engine was all about, hopefully this quick video will give you an idea. Also, if you're looking for an easy-to-use game engine, I do recommend you watch the easiest game engines video, and now we're going to go into some more detail on Construct 3. So if you're interested in learning about Construct 3, it is available at construct.net. It is a pretty straightforward experience, to be honest. And I think the easiest way to showcase this will be actually just go hands-on with it. And the nice thing is, Construct 3 is so easy to get started with, and the reason why, well, we'll admit, that is a bit of a double-edged sword. This is definitely a game engine that is approachable, though. It's pretty simple to get started, and if you want to get started with Construct 3, you can check it out with their free trial. Don't need to either log in or register or anything else. If you just want to check it out, just head on over to their webpage, click Launch Now, or what you could do alternatively is pick one of their demo-style games here. You can see here they've got an RPG game, a platform game, an arcade-style shoot-'em-up game, and then finally a puzzle game. So you can see how all of those are implemented using Construct 3, and every one of these examples is quite polished. If you want to go ahead and check one of them out, just click Open Now, which I have done, and here you can see the RPG style of game. And this is the major Construct 3 editing environment, and now it is time to address the 900-pound gorilla in the room. Yes, what you see is me running in a browser. This is a browser-based game engine. Now, you do have options here. You can store your projects offline. You can also install it to your desktop if you so wish. So then it basically treats itself just like a local install. Also, do keep in mind there are definitely limitations to the free edition. So just do be aware of that. You've got a limited number of this, that, and this. We'll get to that when we look at the pricing and the details in just a few moments. So the browser part out of the way, let's take a quick look at the editor. What you see going on here is a 2D world that's been built. You can see here it is a tile map in this particular case. With the tile map object selected, you can see over here you have a full tile map painter. Another nice thing going on with this one is for everything you deal with. For example, here is the player character. If I double click that, it actually has an animation editor. So you see here we have a number of animations down the side where you can actually author your graphics directly inside of Construct 3. It's always nice to have your tools all integrated like this, especially when you are just starting out. So that is definitely a nice thing. The interface is really straightforward too. Anything, you basically just double click it and it opens it up in the appropriate tool. You do your world placement like so. Over here you have properties for whatever you currently have selected. So for example, this is a gateway object right there that I have selected. You can see the properties over here changed. Another nice thing going on here is you do have the ability to drop behaviors on things. So this is taking your coding to the easiest step possible. So over here, edit behaviors, we can add a new behavior here, and you can see here we've got a number of predefined behaviors. The nice thing here is too, there's also an asset store to go with this, so there is a community support behind it if you need to get art assets, other behaviors other people have defined for you, and so on. They are all available to you. So here you see, if I want to add, say, 8-way control movement to something, I literally just add an 8 directions procedure to it, no coding required. It just gives that behavior, default behavior, to that character. So you can see here, a number of behaviors are there. But when it comes into actually scripting game logic, well, how is that done? Well, that is done using event sheets. And here you can see the major event sheet controlling everything here. So let's start with a simple one. This is the title screen event sheet. So this is when you first launch your game. Let's go ahead. I'll show you the game right now. So here you can see a demo of the game in action. So this is the sample they've got going on. You can attack, jump, and so on. You got the ability to go between worlds. So as you can see, you can create RPG-style games with dialogue and so on. So that is what this example we are looking at, the end result of it is. So to load that initial title screen, this is the logic that was used. It's basically a top-down flowchart approach. So the closest thing I can think of is the Five Nights at Freddy's game engine. Why do I always forget it? There we go, Click Team Fusion. And I have a feeling Click Team Fusion was the first game engine to do this spreadsheet type approach to game development, but I do not want to be quoted on that. If you actually know which one was first, I would love to know it. But there are a number of engines out there that use this approach now. Obviously, Construct uses it, Click Team Fusion uses it, GDevelop uses it, and it's a pretty straightforward way to do things. The nice thing is there is some nice organizational tasks here. So you've got the ability to import in other event sheets. Like you see here, they're pulling in the global event sheet. All of these global functions are just being imported into this right there. So you've got kind of the equivalent of a C# or C++ pound include or import. And then you see here we can break things up into chunks. Basically, this is just like selectable code. So here is the code for creating your initial player. So this is the condition. These are the actions. So basically condition, action. So on start of layout, we do this. So fade in and activate the player, retrieve the dungeon floor room, and so on and so forth. Everything is made out of a series of actions. Unfortunately, there is a limitation to the number that I can do with the demo that we are working with, so I can't showcase it to you that well, but there are a number of different options there. Another nice thing about this one is if you don't particularly like what you've got available to you, if this approach to coding doesn't appeal to you, you've actually got the ability to call JavaScript directly here if you wish, or you can create your own add-ons, or you can create your own behaviors, or you can grab behaviors from the asset store. So if this doesn't appeal to you, well, to be honest, if this approach to scripting doesn't appeal to you, this is probably not the game engine for you. But if you do like this, but you want to move beyond it, you need to add some more capabilities or whatever, it's a very extensible engine where you're going to be using JavaScript to do the extensions. We'll show you some of the details of that in just a second. And then when you're done with your game, you can actually export it out to a number of different platforms. You can obviously see it run in action. There is a debugger available here and so on. There is good documentation available for you as well. There's a number of add-ons out there. And again, I am looking at purely the free edition right now. So that is kind of the environment. We've got the ability to add special effects in, again, limited by the free version, the number that you can have active. That is Construct 3. Now, I'm actually kind of curious. If you're interested in learning more details about how you put scripts together or like a Hello World style tutorial for working with Construct 3, let me know. I can pick up a version of the complete version and go into a bit more depth if you want to see those things. Let me know that. Or you can basically jump in. Again, no need to make an account or anything else. Just head on over to the demo section and open up one of the projects. So here we're going now back to the pricing. So this is not a free engine. There is currently a promo on, by the way, for a BuildBox program. If you can prove that you bought BuildBox within the last, I think, 6 months, you can get a free license for Construct for some period of time. You're broken down into 3 different licensing plans: individual level, business level, and educational organizational level ones. I'm going to stick to and only focus on the individual in this particular case. And here you can see the pricing. We're in Canadian dollars. It's $21 a month or 131 Canadian a year. I thought it was 100 US. So they're either really screwing us on the Canadian currency conversion, or it's a little bit more money. But basically, 131 Canadian is about 110, 115 USD right now. Oh, wait, All right, here we go. Let's switch to USD. So 115 and 1909 are the current pricing there. And then in terms of what you can't do, so there are limitations on the free version that you saw. We kind of kept triggering them. The kicker is they've got layered at 2. So we're opening projects that are well beyond the capabilities of the free edition, and that's why I can't add more stuff in that release. So you see here, you're getting unlimited events, maximum layers, special effects. You can create multiplayer games, custom loading screens, and so on. In the free version, you obviously can't make money from your games, and so on. And your JavaScript is limited to 2 snippets and JavaScript files. This guy is capable of publishing out to HTML5 desktop via, it uses HTML5 wrappers. You're ultimately creating an HTML5 game. The Construct Arcade, you can create an Android app, an iOS app, and you have other publishing, come on guys, spelling error, options out there such as instant games and playable ads. I have a feeling that this one was a shot at Unity for some stupid reason for years and years and years, charged for a dark theme. Well, dark theme is included in both the free versions and otherwise, and you got some other limitations here like the debugging and profiling features and so on. So that is the pricing of Construct. So you're looking $19 a month or $115 a year. I don't like that they don't have a flat out license. I always prefer, I don't like subscription only. I don't mind subscriptions, but I like to have a permanent option there, or a pay to use and stop getting updates kind of license. Sadly, they don't have that option available here. They also have some more specific to businesses based off of your your size, and so on, but it's beyond what I'm going to go into here. Now, as I mentioned earlier on, there is an asset store out there, and I like asset stores. I think every game engine should have an asset store if it makes sense, and this one has a number of different add-ons you can easily drop in. So you've got things here like add-ons, animations, font, graphics, full games you can download, some templates, tile maps, themes, and other tools you can pull in. So if you want to extend it, there are a number of options available here. Also, you can sell your own assets as well, and I like that. I like other options for developers to make their own products out of things as well. So it's definitely nice to see that it is extensible and that this system exists out here. So if you want to bring in sprite sheets and so on, there's a number of them available on the asset store for Construct 3. Definitely a nice thing to see. And then another neat thing that's out there, this is an example I pulled out. This is an add-on that someone's written. So if you want to have an idea of what an add-on looks like, you see here basically it's defined as some JSON files to say what the files are going to be, and then it's written in JavaScript. It's a pretty straightforward JavaScript. If you're curious about the details of it, there is a C3 or Construct 3 Add-On SDK out there that is fully documented and has the details here. So if you want to pull in some assets, if you want to create your own add-ons, that is an option for you out there. So if what you're seeing out of the box doesn't do it for you, there is extensibility available. And once again, that is Construct 3, one of my on the easiest game engines list. Now, it's definitely a much harder game engine than something like Scratch or MakeCode for sure, but it's probably maybe a little bit easier than Stencil. A lot of it comes down to what you personally think of this style of programming and this approach to programming. If it clicks with you, you're going to find this pretty easy to work with, and especially if you find the tools that are provided out of the box, if they work for you, you're going to like this. Now, again, the fact that it is in the browser, even though you can install it to the desktop as an option, you're going to find people like that or hate that for sure. The nice thing is it does work offline, so you do not need to be constantly connected to the internet. And of course, some people are going to find the pricing tenable or untenable. Pricing is really, it comes down to the individual at the end of the day, so I rarely ever comment on pricing unless it's obscenely out of line. And quite frankly, Construct's pricing is very similar in a lot of ways to, say, like Game Maker pricing. I think these guys have challenges in that they have to deal with, competition out there that is either free and completely open source, or has such liberal licensing term like something like Unreal Engine that they're going to have to keep upping their game to keep people subscribed. But there is a nice layer of polish around Construct 3. There is a nice set of documentation. The tools are nice to work with. It is straightforward. It does work offline. It is updated constantly, and there are good manuals, good getting started guides and materials out there. You're not going to struggle with Construct 3. It's probably one of those things that if you struggled with another game engine, give Construct 3 a look. It probably could speak to you in a way. And there is a definitely limited but capable, and that showcases the capabilities of it, free version available out there. And like I said, you don't even have to register. You can just load it up in your browser. So the barriers to checking out Construct 3 are very, very, very minimal. So that is the Construct 3 engine. What do you think of it? What do you think of the visual I'll call it spreadsheet style programming as opposed to, something like blueprints or straight out scripting? Do you like this approach? And again, I asked the same question I asked earlier on. Who did this first? Part of me thinks that it was ClickTeam Fusion, or at least the program that became ClickTeam Fusion. I forget. Was it AGS? I don't know. There was a program before ClickTeam Fusion that ClickTeam Fusion turned into. I think it may have invented this style of programming, but if you know the first one, please let me know in the comments down below. And let me know what you think of Construct 3 in general, and would you like to see a more in-depth tutorial using, a full version of it? Let me know. I can probably check it out in the future. Comments down below, and I will talk to you all later. Goodbye.